So for quarantine productiveness today, we're going to be putting a crank sensor in this 95 YJ, not a 94 YJ with a wave decal on the side.
Jeep YJ with a wave decal on the side.
But it's got a no spark situation, and it's rather inconvenient. We got hopefully spring coming here pretty soon, so we're going to swap this crank sensor out and, you know, just chuck parts at it like any good mechanic would do and see if it fixes it. But first, we got to get some heat in here. It's freezing. So the first thing you want to do is locate the plug for your crank position sensor, and it's right at the very back of this cute little peanut of an engine in here. Right down there. This guy. So we're going to get that unplugged and do a quick ohm test on it just to check and see. We're going to replace it anyway. Okay, so checking your crank sensor is fairly straightforward. You're going to take your multimeter, which hopefully you can see in the camera view there. You're going to set it to ohms, and you're going to probe the B and C terminal in this plug. I know that my hands are in the way here. This plug here, once you've unplugged it, you got 3 prongs in there, and the B and the C are the 2 rightmost terminals. And this might take me a second because you kind of need a third hand to do this. And you can't quite see what I'm doing because my hand's in the way, but I think you can figure it out. Come on, work with me here. And I'm getting a reading. So if this sensor were good, the screen would not change. It would be like I didn't hook these terminals to anything. So this is indicative of a bad crank position sensor and tells us that we're not wasting our time by replacing it. So that's comforting. So first you want to pop this little nut off the retaining clamp for your pigtail. 10 millimeter. Alright, so here we are on the back of the bell housing. There's your crank position sensor. So you got 2 bolts holding it in there. They're 11 millimeter head or 7/16 if you absolutely must use an American socket. Whichever suits your fancy, they're pretty close. I don't have a app for my GoPro here, so I'm just going to take a wild guess that I've got it in the right spot. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. And we'll pop these bolts out and get this bad boy out of here. And once you've got those 2 bolts out, should be able to just pull this, get my flashlight in here, should be able to just pull this straight out, and there it is. So you're going to reuse the old P-clamp off the old harness, and I think it's just easier to do it this way. Start at the top side, feed it down through. That way you're not trying to finagle the pigtail for the sensor up where you can't see or reach. And then just slide the P-clamp onto the stud. And we'll just put the nut on there. Finger tight for now. Now that's held into place, we can crawl back underneath and put the crank sensor in place. Alright, well here we are back underneath. Taking a wild guess at the camera angle again, so hopefully you can see. If not, I'm sure you guys can figure it out at this point. We're just going to do the opposite of what we did before. Trying to make sure I don't have a twist in the wire here because I'm OCD. Try not to trip over the camera here. Slide it back in there. And take your 2 bolts and put them back in place. Normally I would put some anti-seize on here, but my bottle of anti-seize is in my other shop and I'm not driving all the way over there to get it. So we'll just snug these in as is. This is where the Jeep died, so this is where it gets fixed. Run your bolts in and snug them down. Back up top side. I'm just going to tighten up this P clamp here. You're just going to kind of position the wire loom as such that you don't have too much slack on the bottom side, so it's not swinging into things that it shouldn't. We hook back up. Lickety split. There it is. Not too bad. I'll hook the battery back up and see if we've done good. Alright. Here we go. A moment of truth. This is the moment where we go back in the house and drink aggressively. Oh, there it goes. Well, maybe it's fixed. You shouldn't start quite that hard, but that's more like it. I'm gonna call it fixed. Now we can go reward ourselves. So that's a job well done. Now I know I shouldn't have to say this since we're all staying home and all, but you know, if you're gonna reward yourself, you want to do so responsibly. Because, you know, we're all responsible adults here. That is the sweet taste of victory. Stay safe, folks. Stay home. Hope everybody stays well.